Actually, I can make this perfect example. Keyboard bass will never sound like a bass player. Shut up. Okay. Oh, I didn't say that. That wasn't Tony. Stop that. So, yes. Actually, I was in 808 for a little while. We did a song. We were at one of the disco things, and my wireless pack exploded. Just as I was about to start my solo. My one solo of the whole night. The whole hour, I got one solo. And just as I started, I'm not going to say what brand it is, but it just exploded. I mean, just parts went everywhere across the stage. He started playing. So yes, keyboard player could fill in on the bottom end, but a keyboard player, and you know, there are good keyboard players that can play left-handed bass, but it's never going to be the same as a bass player. And I've yet to hear a keyboard player with his left hand direct the band, actually get the band to groove. Usually the keyboard player will follow what's there with his left hand. At that point, the band revolves around the drummer. We don't like that.
We like that.
We don't like that.
Well, we all have our parts that we play.
That's true too. Where anybody didn't hear that, you know, we all have our parts that we play. It's just the bass is more important than everybody else. One last thing about playing that's really important. It actually goes back to what we were talking about with writing bass lines. Even when you're on stage, okay, you've heard me do a lot of silly little things back and forth, and because we're kind of more in a jam thing here, I'm not making a really good example. When you're playing on stage, whatever style of music you're playing, play the same thing twice. Actually, play it the same way a lot. The rest of the band, this gets back to the bass player has to be aware of what's going on. If the bass player keeps moving around and changing the lines, nobody knows where to go. Nobody knows what to do. So, you have to be consistent. It's not just playing in time the same, being real consistent with that. It's playing the same line. You can build on it as a song builds. You can actually completely change the line as long as for that verse, that's what you did. When you're playing a verse, play the verse and play it the same way. You can put, little things. I'm about to make him self-conscious. If you listen to most bands, you listen to most drummers, every 4 bars, on the 5th bar, there's a crash. Or, from beat 3 of bar 4, there's a fill. That's okay, because drummers, they sit in the back, nobody gets to look at them, and they gotta be noticed. So, they gotta, see, I got chops. Every 4 bars. If they don't do it in 4 bars, they do it in 8 bars. Usually 4. Don't follow them. You don't need to. If the drummer's going to do that, let the drummer be busy. The busier a drummer is in a band, the simpler the bass should be. I'm going back to what I played for you when we first started this. Very simple 4 groove. Bass player can play anything because the pulse is there from the drums. But you still have to have a groove and you got to be consistent. So,